Hello, hello. How are you? How's your week going, you guys? How's it going? Let me know. I want to know. So, I'm just going to lift up the hard things, you guys, that we're going to have to do this week. I don't know how your journey's going and if it has led to having to get rid of things and like, I'm really gonna have to trade in my truck, you guys. I really, really, really don't want to trade in my truck. Gas is crazy. Plus, when I was in Iowa, it made sense. I had, 4 kids at the house. If I get stuck in the snow somewhere, I can get myself out. I have a Ford F-150. It was one of the, rescue trucks that they would send anyway to get you out of a mess if you got into one. So, let me know if you're shedding, if you have to get rid of something that you love. You guys, I love my truck. I love it. I know that I'm going to miss it. I really don't want to trade it in, but it was made for me for Iowa. It was perfect for Iowa. But now that I'm planning to move to Gulf Shores and I want to be near the beach and I want to do some DoorDash or do some Uber, then it just makes more sense to be able to trade in the truck and get a car. Get a car to be able to do this. I think a whole lot better. To be able to move easier, park easier. I mean, there are some things I won't miss about the truck. I mean, it was just a beast. It was huge. It wasn't so easy to get in and out of places to park. Just saying. So that part, that part's going to be a whole lot easier. That part's going to be nicer to actually get rid of the truck. But tell me your thoughts and feelings that when you have to get rid of something, when you shed something, when you're being mature, when you're growing up, when you're making the best decision for your family, for your gas, for your finances. You guys, I wonder if, this was all just a thing though too to make us all buy new vehicles, you guys. My most honest ideas, I'd probably say that. Hello, hi, how are you? We're just on here talking today about having to get rid of what we need to get rid of because it makes sense. Help me make this make sense. I am getting rid of my truck. I am planning to move to Gulf Shores, so I want a car. And so the company I work for, really, really helps out with that. It treats me like I'm Donald Trump when I go in there. I get to be able to build whatever vehicle I want to be able to build, even though with the worst credit, like 600 that I have, they treat me like it's over 8 and I can just get whatever vehicle I want. But I'm going to try to get one as close to 20,000 as I can because I just want to use it for Uber and DoorDash in Gulf Shores when I move. So it's going to be easier using a little car than my Ford F-150. So I love my truck. I want to know, you guys, what did you have to shed this week that you're going to miss? I want to know what you're going to miss. I want to know because it is on my truck, you guys. Hello, Haley. Hello. God bless you. I'm so thankful. Thank you for subscribing. That is so awesome. Thank you. Thank you. So I'm just talking on here about letting go of things that you love, letting go so you grow up, so you can be able to grow your finances, so you can make better decisions, so you can move easier and be less stressed and be less financially strapped to things that really, really aren't going to help you. Hi, Owen from Australia. God bless you. God bless you. I'm so glad that you guys are on today. Let me know, you guys, what did you have to shed this week? What did you have to let go because it was a smarter decision? It was going to help you be able to make more money. It was going to save you time. It was going to save you space. You guys, I have a Ford F-150. I have a big truck, but it is so beautiful, you guys. I get compliments all the time. Like, I'm short, okay? I'm like 5'2". I feel like such a big dog when I'm driving my truck. I don't know about you guys. I love my truck. I love my truck. I love to be able to help people. I would volunteer for free to help people move. Like, I just love it. It was just a thing. Went to 13 different schools. We always had to move. And so it was kind of, I had this thing like packed, or like a robot, like a machine where, okay, I can look at the biggest mountain of, moving is the biggest, I would say the biggest stressor of anybody in the whole world is moving, to be able to pack up everything. I think that people just like get frustrated by looking at this big mountain, and I was able just to go in there and let's get it done. Let's just knock it out. Let's just put it in the truck and let's just keep going. And I thank God for the kids that I have and the hard workers that they are, and that it flowed, you guys. So I feel like I'm having a funeral for my truck. So yes, I'm gonna be on here probably whining a lot, and hopefully I won't whine all week. Hopefully I'll just get it out of my system. But I do love my truck. You guys, it was hard. I know when I first, started driving and things like that, being a single mom, it wasn't easy for me to get a vehicle. I would go to Ford. My favorite car was Ford Focus. So I don't know if you guys like Ford, but I didn't. But that was my first car that I was really, really, really just attracted to. It was a cute car. And so, I go there. I was like 19, 20. I think I was working at the casino as a cashier or a bingo caller. And they said I was approved. Next thing you know, like the week later, they're coming and repoing it and don't like my credit, or, something that, well, of course, I'm 19, 20. What do you expect me to have, It's not my first job, because my first job was like fast food and stuff. But it was definitely, one of my first 4 or 5 jobs, growing up and stuff like that, as far as that goes. So, just letting you know. I think I've got everything on, so try not to forget anything. I have to work overnight, so we get to go to work an hour earlier today because of the holiday coming, which is my birthday this week. May 28th is my birthday, so I'm super, super excited. May 28th is my birthday. And when I come back from Iowa, I'm taking my last run with my truck I love my Jimmy Choo, you guys. Somebody was wearing it at work, and I keep wanting to take off the cap. Don't take it off, because it doesn't do anything. But for some reason, I'm just addicted to taking off the caps off stuff. So, somebody wore that at work, so now I really like it. So this is my last one with my truck. I don't know why that one did that. So, no, I used to be a single mom. I'm married this November, you guys. 23 years. 23 years. So, I prayed for a husband, and I was working with his sister at the casino. And we were both bingo callers. And her brother came from Iowa to come visit her, because she married Navy, so she went from Iowa to California. And then he was Army in Iowa. He came and visited his sister. And then God told him I was his wife. And then on our very first date, I had written down and I had prayed a couple weeks before I had met him. And I wrote down every single thing that I wanted in a husband. And then he shows up, and we go out on our first date. And everything that I wrote to God in prayer, line by line, you guys, it came out of his mouth. So I couldn't believe that every single thing came out of his mouth. I freaked out. I freak out. I'm one of those, you guys. Always freaking out. Like, I gotta get over this freaking out, being afraid of everything. But I'm working on it. So I am, on our date, and he's telling me everything that I wrote down to God in prayer. And I'm freaking out. And the first thing I tell him is, I gotta go to the bathroom. What I didn't know is that he had went on a date with somebody prior to me, and she said she had to go to the bathroom, but she never came back. I didn't know that. So I thought that's kind of funny. So he probably thought I was going to leave him, but no, I was just shocked, and I was happy, and I went to the bathroom, and I was like checking the bathroom stalls and like making sure nobody was in there, because I want to jump up and down. I'm looking at myself in the mirror, and I couldn't believe I, met this man of my dreams. And I was a single mom when I met him, so I had a son who was about probably 2 years old, and my son knows no other dad but him. And praise God, they get along, and they look out for each other. And my husband was Army, My son is actually a sergeant right now. So he went Army too. So it was just really cool. It was a really, really, really cool life with my husband. We ended up having 2 kids together. So it was really, really, really awesome. I never thought, that this could happen. So I grew up with him, you guys. Like, I got with him when I was like 22, and this year I'll be 44. So it's just exciting. I'm married 23 years. Come November 10th. It's so hard to remember because my son was born November 11th. But November 10th is my 23rd wedding anniversary. Yeah, you guys, I gotta go to Iowa this week. I'm trying to sell our house, and then I'm trying to move to Gulf Shores for hopefully by August, September. So I had a whole thing planned where I wanted to have our anniversary party. My husband calls it kind of like a redo of our wedding type thing. But it's just a lot to do. I think there's just a lot of plans I'm going to have to ditch just because of finances and because of timing and when school starts. I'm hoping to get it to Gulf Shores before school starts, so that way we've been there for like maybe a month, and we can feel good, we can feel comfortable, we can feel settled. My daughter can start the 10th grade feeling good, feeling confident, knowing where her school is, her teachers are, being able to join a few clubs and meet some kids that she's going to, be with in school. I want to be settled, but I also have to, there's life and there's finances and there's reality, and I'm trying to sell this house in Iowa. I live in Alabama before I go to Gulf Shores. So we'll see how it all works out. No promises how anything's going to turn out. But I have to go to work overnight. So it's a weird shift, you guys. 3:45 to like 2 a.m. It's a really weird shift. But we'll have to make it. I'm going to have to make it work, you guys. Going to have to make it work. That is definitely one big thing. But I want to know, what did you have to shed? What did you have to get rid of? Because you guys, this is a part of growing. This is a part of pruning. This is a part of business. This is a part of family. This is a part of health. I know in one of my videos, I was telling you guys that every yes is a no and every no is a yes. So if you want a yes in one direction, like say losing weight, you want to say yes to losing 50 pounds. And I have to say no to that cake, no to that cookie, no to that party, no to that alcohol. Like, you have to be able to build what you want. And it's going to take decision by decision. It's going to take step by step. It's going to take an act of discipline. And then whatever act of discipline that you use, you have to be able to know your measure. So then you don't like binge eat, or you don't, freak out and things like that. So every yes is a no, every no is a yes. As long as you are building towards what is best for you. So for me, I'm going to have to get rid of my truck. I miss it already. I told my husband, I feel like it's a funeral. I'm leaving my truck behind. I feel like it's a funeral. If you guys only saw what the mess I'm doing, my coffee blew up in the microwave. And I overfilled it here on the stove. My cups. I'm going to switch cups here. So what are you guys shedding? What are you guys doing? What are you guys planning? And know that it's a part of it. Know that it's good for you. No discipline. You guys reading the Bible, it says no discipline feels good at the time. No discipline feels good at the time. But I don't need my truck in Gulf Shores at the beach. I needed it in Iowa. I needed it in the snow. I needed it to... Ministry was different. And in Iowa, there's a lot of ministry that required a lot of heavy lifting. And in Alabama, the ministry here is rides. It's more rides than heavy lifting. In Iowa, it was more cleaning and deep cleaning and helping hoarders and things like that. The ministry was completely different than Alabama. I mean, it really, really threw me off. The differences. It really, really threw me off. In California, it was a lot of homelessness as far as ministry there was to be able, and I say ministry because, we took in people, we help people, we coach people, we mentor people, we, help them with businesses. In California, it was a lot of like networking businesses. We helped with that and help people get started, like stuff like that. But Alabama is different. Iowa was different. Iowa was more helping people with housekeeping businesses and maybe car detailing and yard work businesses. That was more Iowa, how it ended up being. I'm just double checking you guys myself that I got everything. I'm going to say bye to my daughter for tonight. Bye, pretty girl. I love you. Have a good night.
Wait,
Yeah. What?
do we have the Noki here?
The what?
The Noki.
What's that? Yes. Ask Dad. Ask Dad. Okay. So, what are you shedding? What are you doing? And help yourself feel good about it. Help yourself feel good about it.